We start our chemistry third chapter. We are discussing the previous class about second chapter. Today third chapter. See there, in our day-to-day life, so many activities are taken place. What all activities? The burning of wood, explosion of cracker, melting of wax, milk converted into curd, then burning of kerosene. This all reaction, these all activities are taken in our day-to-day life. In this activity, they are divided into two types: physical changes and chemical change. What is physical change? Physical, that changes only in the arrangement of a molecule. Arrangement of molecule changes, that is called a physical change. Chemical change means that complete converted into another particle. We can't change into what we first seen, that we can't change that completely changing, that is called chemical changes. Example for physical change: when a water converted into ice cube, that is an example for only changes in arrangement of molecule. First is in the state of liquid, next it is converted into the state of a solid. So that is only physical changes taken place. But in chemical changes, they directly formed into another particle. So that is a permanent change. But this physical changes is a temporary change. The permanent change we can't takes into previous condition. That completely changing, that is called a chemical change. See, there is some example is there. Burning of wood, that is completely changes. So that is an example for a chemical change. Chemical change. Same process again they are given. Explosion of crackers, that also example for a chemical change. There is completely changes, no, that chemical change. Same process again they are given. Burning of a kerosene, that also chemical change, that is called a chemical change. Same process, cutting of wood, that is called a physical change, no, does not completely not changes, that is a temporary change, no, so it is an physical change. Same process, melting of wax, that are example for a physical change. So you understood now what is chemical change, what is physical change. You understood about that. Chemical change is an permanent change, physical change is an temporary change, is called a physical change. Next we are conducting one experiment. We want to take two beakers. In one beaker we want to put into sodium. You know that sodium is more actively in participating in reaction in water, no? So when a small piece of sodium put into one beaker, first beaker, that a reaction taken place. In second beaker you keep like that only. You should take two beakers also, half water, then add one piece of sodium metal into the first beaker, that react with the water. Then you should take phenolphthalein indicator, put into first beaker, that phenolphthalein indicator. You taken two beakers now. Two beakers. In first beaker you put here water and sodium metal is kept there. Same process here. Water only have. When you are adding sodium, that reaction with the water, then you add to phenolphthalein indicator. So this converted into this water converted into color pink, that is an indicator. This does not changes here, does not changes. About that experiment, see that video, that time you can clearly understanding.
A column. The sodium is much easier to cut than the lithium. As we cut off the oxide layer, we can see the shiny metal underneath. It coats over very rapidly with a layer of oxide. The sodium is a metal and is an excellent conductor of electricity. If we take a piece of the sodium metal and add it to water, we notice a much more rapid reaction with the water. Like lithium, the sodium is less dense than water and floats. The metal moves across the surface, being pushed by the hydrogen gas that is produced. As you go down the column with group 1 metals, the melting point of the metal decreases. The reaction is very exothermic, which causes the sodium metal to melt. The metal contracts into a very compact oxide by adding phenolphthalein. The phenolphthalein turns a purple-red color due to the presence of the hydroxide ions, indicating the formation of the sodium hydroxide.
So, there you observed a change in the color. No? Why in the first beaker changes the color? Because when you adding sodium to a water, that converted into a alkali. So, there changes the color. In a neutral solution and acids, when you adding phenolphthalein indicator, that does not changes the color. But when you adding the indicator to the alkali solution, that changes the color. This is you understood from this experiment. The reactant is sodium and water. See here, you are adding sodium to a water now. Here reactant is sodium and water, H2O. So same process, product is sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. How we writing chemical equation? When a sodium react with the water, we are getting sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So is it equation is balanced? So here hydrogen is there to add to. So 2NaOH 2. It is a balanced equation. Now here when sodium react with the water, we are getting sodium hydroxide and H2 gas. This is the reactant, this is the product you are studied, which are participating in the reaction, that is called the reactant. After that we are getting that result, we are getting product. This is called the product. Then we are discussing about thermochemical reaction. So you should take in a test tube 5 ml of dilute hydrochloric acid. In a test tube, dilute hydrochloric acid. Then you add a small piece of magnesium. When you adding small piece of magnesium, that react with the hydrochloric acid, and when you touches the bottom of this test tube, so that time we can experience heat there. So there what happen, heat is releasing, no? So we can experience heat. So that when hydrochloric acid react with the magnesium, we are getting product magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. We are getting product magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. So these are 2HCl, then magnesium 1 Cl2 2H. This is the balanced chemical equation. When hydrogen chloride react with the magnesium, we are getting magnesium chloride and hydrogen. After chemical reaction, we are getting hydrogen gas and magnesium chloride. When you touches the bottom of the test tube, we are experienced heat. Why? Because they are releasing heat, no? So we are experienced heat. Then we are discussing about flaring of intense stick. So you should take in a test tube one test tube. In that you should take a potassium permanganate, then you should heat these crystals of potassium permanganate. You seen the crystals of potassium permanganate in second chapter. No, this is the crystals of potassium permanganate. When you heated these crystals, you should bring one intense stick here. So what happened? This started to burning. Why? Because this releases oxygen here. It released oxygen, so it support to the burning of intense stick. So here which are taken participating in chemical reaction there? Potassium permanganate heating time, we are getting potassium permanganate and magnesium dioxide. Potassium permanganate and magnesium dioxide, plus we are getting their heat. So this is the reaction taken place when potassium permanganate heating time, we are keep their intense stick, so it started to burning. Then another one activity is there. We should take in a test tube hydrochloric acid, concentrated hydrochloric acid, add that one sodium hydroxide solution. So after that reaction we are converted into their sodium chloride and water is formed and heat also produced. They are releasing heat. We taken in a test tube sodium hydroxide react with the concentrated hydrochloric acid NaCl. When NaOH react with the hydrogen chloride, we are getting sodium chloride plus H2O plus heat. Is it equation is balanced condition? Yes, this equation is in the balanced condition. So here also we are getting releasing heat, no? So there are two types have, absorption heat and releasing heat. The absorption of heat, that is called endothermic reaction. Releasing of heat, that is called exothermic of heat. See here example, absorption, when 2Hi, after reaction we are getting H2 and I2. Same process, calcium carbonate CaCO3 react, that divided into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So ammonia is divided into two, N2, nitrogen and hydrogen. Releasing, this is the heat absorbing, again heat releasing. Nitrogen preparing time, nitrogen react with the hydrogen. So we are getting ammonia, no? Ammonia preparation, nitrogen react with the hydrogen. So we are getting ammonia. So in this case we are heat releasing. Same process, all combustion activity. Combustion means all heating activities also what happened, there are releasing heat. So releasing heat is called exothermic reaction. Absorbing heat is called endothermic reaction. What is the difference between endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction? Exothermic reaction is the releasing of heat. Endothermic reaction is the absorption of heat. Then in exothermic reaction, after chemical reaction they release heat. In endothermic reaction, the reaction occurs only in the presence of heat. Reaction occurs only in the presence of heat in endothermic reaction. In exothermic reaction, heat equal to the absorbed is released. Heat equal to the absorbed is released. In endothermic reaction, heat is equal to the released is absorbed. It is a difference between exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. Then photochemical reaction. You have studied green plants are produced, their food. So using sunlight they are producing food. It is present in the leaf in the form of starch. That glucose in presence in the leaf in the form of starch. So see the reaction when water reacts with the carbon dioxide and heat, light, using light, they are preparing food. So after this reaction we are getting here C6H12O6 plus O2. Water, carbon dioxide, light. In the presence of light they are preparing food. So we are getting here glucose. Glucose is in the presence in the leaf in the form of starch. It is the reaction taken place in the preparation of food in a leaf. This is the reaction. We are final product here getting glucose. So today we are discussed about photochemical reaction, then chemical change, physical change, about that we are discussed, and then we are discussed about exothermic and endothermic reactions. Then we continue